Hey guys, it's hit 6, so I think we can get started. Thank you guys for showing up. My name is Dorian Crutcher. Can you guys hear me okay? Is that good? So yeah, I'll be teaching you guys how to build a smart contract on NEAR in JavaScript using our JavaScript SDK. So again, my name is Dorian Crutcher. I work on the developer relations team for NEAR. I'm actually the host of the web series called Blockheads and NEAR Bytes. Blockheads is kind of a way to learn how to build applications on NEAR, just like, a quick way to, again, just like tutorial videos and whatnot. It's really fun. And NEAR Bytes is just like a quick look into developer space within the NEAR ecosystem. So it's like a little news channel of like quick little bites of NEAR information. It's really cool, really fun. So go on our YouTube channel, shameless plug, go subscribe and check it out. So if you, by the way, if I'm always on our Discord channel to answer developer questions. So if you go on to near.chat, you can join our Discord channel if you ever have any questions on building about NEAR. We have office hours every day from 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 12 p.m. and 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 5 a.m. Sorry, p.m. Yeah, a.m. for our European friends. And fun fact about me, I live here in San Francisco and I play dodgeball. So with that, let's get started. So what is NEAR? If you guys are not familiar with it, NEAR is a layer 1 blockchain with a block production time of 1 second. It's also a proof of stake blockchain certified carbon neutral by South Pole, so we're an environmentally friendly blockchain. We're very proud of that. And also we are almost infinitely scalable through our sharding mechanism called Nightshade. I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. NEAR also comes with this EVM compatible layer called Aurora. So if you are a Solidity developer and you are interested in utilizing a technology that allows for fast transaction times, like low transaction fees and like near infinite scalability, you can use Aurora to actually deploy Solidity smart contracts onto NEAR and also exchange assets to and from the NEAR blockchain to Ethereum. So Storytime. So NEAR was actually originally supposed to be an AI company building on blockchain. What it was for, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But the founders, Ilya and Alex, who worked at Google and Microsoft, in their hunt for various blockchain, couldn't really find one that was actually easy to develop on and also easy for end users to onboard onto. So they decided to repurpose NEAR into something that can be developer focused, founder focused for scalability, and easy for its end users to onboard onto. The way we accomplish that is by offering various technologies for the builders to build and write smart contracts. Like we have smart contract libraries for Rust. We have one that we're going to be teaching you today for JavaScript. So that way you don't have to learn a whole new language to write a smart contract and build your decentralized application. You can just use what you know and get started right today. We have our, for end users, we have our primary feature of our NEAR wallet, which I'll show you guys in a minute too. It's like a really easy way to essentially have users sign in and sign up your application and interact with the NEAR blockchain. And then for founders, again, it's near infinitely scalable. So as the blockchain grows, you shouldn't see a decrease in transaction speed or sharp increase in transaction fees. And again, it's supposed to grow with the company. So it's really, really cool. So yeah, that's 2017. 2018 is when they pivoted to blockchain. 2019 is when NEAR built the mainnet, and 2020 is when we shipped the mainnet. And then after that, NEAR Inc. actually split into various companies such as NEAR Inc., which turned to Pagoda, which is our development branch, NEAR Foundation, which is our nonprofit branch, and then Aurora, which is our EVM layer essentially. And our hope is to become the primary entry point for Web3 builders. So why JavaScript? Why JavaScript as one of our smart contract languages? Well, we believe that JavaScript is the language of mass adoption. Currently, there are around 20 million developers that currently can read and write JavaScript code. And actually, I'm just kind of curious, how many of you guys know JavaScript here in this crowd? Raise your hand if you guys know JavaScript. How many of you guys are learning JavaScript also? Okay, so we have so we have a few people who know it, people learning it. Awesome. So yeah, if you know JavaScript, it makes it really easy for developers to onboard into Web3 space. So essentially, this will also allow you to build a full decentralized application in one single familiar language. So you don't have to spend months learning a whole different language for your smart contracts. You can just use what you know and begin building. So with that, again, you can build, test, deploy all in one stack. And what is that stack? Well, I'm going to explain it to you now. So we have NEAR SDK.js, which is our library to write smart contracts in JavaScript. We have Workspaces.js, which is essentially a way to test your decentralized application locally on your computer. So that way you don't have to deploy it to our testnet to interact with your smart contract. You can actually run the entire simulated node on your computer and also modify the environment of that node. So block height, epoch number, anything you want. It's really, really handy. We also have NEAR CLI, which allows you to interact with the NEAR blockchain from your terminal. It's a wrapper around this next tool called NEAR API.js, which allows you to interact with the NEAR blockchain with your by plugging it into your front-end application, your back-end node script, or again, your CLI, your terminal. And we have our wallet selector too. So NEAR has a variety of wallets that allow you to sign in or sign out of applications on the NEAR blockchain. So we have our native one, which is mynearwallet.com. We also have a whole bunch of other ones like the Math Wallet, Ledger Wallet, and a whole slew of things. So we try to open it up for as many wallets as possible. For this particular workshop, I have a little QR code giving you resources to learn more about our NEAR SDK.js and how to build on it. We're going to be running through the workshop example project that we have listed here. So if you guys want to take a picture of this, you can, or you guys can find me afterwards. I can give this to you again. So see a few cameras going up. So wait till those go back down. Cool. And cool, if you guys need this again, I'll be happy to give it to you. So yeah, with that, let's code. So the very first thing I want to show you guys is essentially a way to get your application off the ground very quickly. So if you are familiar at all with Create React app, it's a way to quickly load in a project structure so you can have an application ready to go. We have this similar tool called Create NEAR app, which will essentially give you a smart contract template, a front-end template with any with a framework such as React as our primary one, or just Vanilla.js, or allowing you to plug in your framework, or even no front-end at all. And also lets you set up the scaffolding for our two different smart contract languages, which would be JavaScript and Rust. So I know better than to trust conference Wi-Fi. So I already load it beforehand. But just show you guys what that would look like, you can just simply type in npx, make this a little bigger. Yeah, there we go. Make it nice and big. So npx create NEAR app, then at latest. And then it gives you this really easy prompt to run through. So select your smart contract language. I would choose TypeScript. Essentially, it compiles down to JavaScript for your smart contract languages, just to essentially be more deliberate for your typing of your variables while you're running your smart contract. So you just type TypeScript. Our front-end framework would be React.js, and then you can just simply give your project a name, and then you're off and ready to go. So if I were to, again, I already ran this beforehand, so I don't have to load in all dependencies and risk, getting stuck on conference Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna make this bigger too, and then just do code. Actually, I think I already opened it. Yeah, there we go. So here is essentially what you would get for. There we go. For your scaffolding for your project. So you have contract, you have front end, you have integration tests, all pre-built in. I'm going to go through the smart contract really quick, just to show you guys what that looks like. So I go to source, I can go to contract.ts. Make that a little smaller, close this out. And you can see just a very, very basic smart contract for NEAR right here. Essentially, all it does is allow you to store information on the blockchain, in the form of a string, and then retrieve information to then be inserted into the application that comes with this template. And yeah, so it's really simple. All we're doing here is modifying this preset hello to different strings, retrieving that, and displaying it to our application. Just to go over these really quick basic tools up here, we have NEAR BindGen. NEAR BindGen essentially acts as the glue around your smart contract to make it so that the NEAR blockchain can actually interpret what you're writing. It comes with this handy little it only comes with one little field here called require init. So if your smart contract has some metadata that you want the user or developer to input in before they actually use the application, you can just set this to true. Essentially, initialization functions are functions that only get called once. If you try to call them again, it throws an error. But we don't really need that right now for this particular example. So that's all NEAR BindGen does. Again, it's the glue that makes your smart contract readable to the NEAR blockchain. Then we have this import for this tool called NEAR. It comes with a whole bunch of like functions that will help aid you in your smart contract writing. We have NEAR.log, which essentially allows you to return logs both to the console and to the NEAR blockchain. So if you're writing specific events, that's the tool you use. Or if you're just like debugging and you want to see like what your contract's returning, you can use NEAR.log for that. We have signer account ID, which returns the name of the last account that signed a transaction on, or that you're particularly calling to that contract. Random seed, which returns like a random string, and a whole lot more. So I'm going to go back to the contract. We have call and view. So call method is essentially a way to change or add information to the blockchain. This will essentially incur what's called a transaction fee in the form of gas. And gas on NEAR is essentially the cost of the computation that goes into a transaction. So again, change methods or call methods, same thing, will incur a small gas fee, which is typically less than a penny. A view method is simply a way to query information from the blockchain, which incurs no gas fee or no transaction fee. So you can call a view method basically as much as you want. So you can see down here, we have our view method called getGreeting that just simply retrieves this string. And we have this call method or change method called setGreeting, which accepts a parameter call and message, which is of type string, which will essentially update or change the string. So again, that changes the information of the blockchain. You can see this class here, which acts as your state for the blockchain. So this class is one field called greeting, which is of type string, which is by default set to hello, and that's what we're updating with the smart contract. So if I run, let's see. There we go. So here we have a whole bunch of like handy little scripts for our smart contract. So if I run, not there, there we go, package.json. Yeah, so if I run yarn deploy, that's going to create what's called a dev account. Deploy, there we go. A dev account on NEAR. So a dev account is simply an account that's like meant to be used for your development environment. Like, so it's like a randomly generated account on our testnet, meant to be like something you can like throw away, something you can use to manipulate. It's auto-funded with 200 test tokens, which are just like fake NEAR tokens. So you don't have to like risk using actual real NEAR. You can make as many dev accounts as you want. They're meant just for to be disposable, essentially. So you can see it gives you like a link to our Explorer showing you. This is also actually a really cool tool. We have an Explorer for NEAR, so you can get information about a transaction. This particular one just shows that this contract has been deployed to this developer account, and also shows you information about how much gas was attached, how much gas was actually used, the deposit value of NEAR, which is the amount of NEAR gets sent to the contract account, and more. So great, we have our developer account, and we have deployed our smart contract to that developer account. Before I continue, just want to say one little note. All accounts on NEAR essentially are created with an empty smart contract. So if you were to create an account right now on NEAR, you would create an account with an empty blank smart contract. As smart contracts get compiled down to WASM files, those WASM files get deployed onto an account and then populate said smart contract. So that's all we're doing when I say we're deploying a smart contract onto an account. So awesome. So I'm gonna take their account name and show you like what like our CLI tool is. So if you remember, one of our handy tools is NEAR CLI. So I can set the contract name, so contract ID, as the developer account name. And then using NEAR CLI, I can actually retrieve information from the blockchain and display it onto the account. So NEAR view, let's see, contract ID, and then getGreeting. And then if I go back to our actual like smart contract, you can see that getGreeting has no parameters in it, so we're not accepting any arguments, whereas like setGreeting does. So I'm just going to put in an empty stringified object into my CLI and just hit enter. And there we go. You can see our preset hello. So we just retrieve some information from the blockchain that's preset in our smart contract. Now let's just say I want to update or change this information. I could do NEAR call contract ID, and then it'd be setGreeting. And then I have the memory of a squirrel, so I'm just going to go back to our smart contract, and I can see, oh, we have a argument called message, and that message is of type string. So let's include our stringified object, type in message. Oops, I almost messed up. Message. Yeah, okay, cool. And then let's do, I don't know, hi, Dorian. And then there we go. And then because this is a call method or change method, I actually have to assign this transaction so I can pay for the gas fees that are associated with it. So I can put in account ID, and then my the account I have loaded onto my computer is called blockhead.testnet, after some web series I heard about, like from some guy named Dorian. I don't know. Maybe I should check it out. Testnet. I'm gonna hit blockhead.testnet. So it's doing a account function call. And it's cool. So it gave me this like empty string because I don't have a log telling me, giving me more information about it. So I'm going to hit this, go to Explorer. I can see it succeeded, which is really good. Now if I go up 2 more times, get greeting, and then I've updated the information on the blockchain. So that's really cool. So now like if I go down here, let's see, close this out. If I go to the actual like front end code in the front end folder here, you can go to this wallet interface. You can see with our wallet selector, I have 2 particular like wallets loaded in. My NEAR icon URL, and then the Ledger wallet. So my NEAR wallet is our own native wallet that we have available for on our blockchain. And then again, there's like a whole slew of different like wallet options. If you go to the actual like repo, you can actually see like what other wallet options there are. I'm not going to go too deep into like what's happening here, but like we have a handy dandy sign-in function for signing into your application or signing out of your application. We also have like this like view method and call method like structures, so you can like simply call this method in your actual application to make it a little bit easier on you to like actually like while you're writing your smart contract to build it out. You can see the contract ID here, the method name, the argument parameters, kind of like similar to what we put in our CLI. You can actually attach prepaid gas onto a method, so you can prepay for your gas. And you can also attach a deposit. And then essentially a deposit is like the amount of NEAR that you're sending directly to the contract account or the account that has a contract deployed onto it. So like if you're dealing with a marketplace, you can send NEAR directly to that marketplace to say buy your NFT or something. If I were to run yarn start, says app is starting. It gives you this like, nice, neat little like front end for your application. You can sign in, shows you the My NEAR Wallet modal, and then it'll redirect you to mynearwallet.com or testnet.mynearwallet.com. And you can simply sign in with your application. So this is what your end user would see, essentially. Just like a very easy way to sign in and sign out of your application. No crazy like cryptographic key pairs they have to figure out how to understand. Like I'm from Riverside. Like no one from Riverside is going to want to learn how to understand what a cryptographic key pair is. They just want to sign in like a Facebook application, right? So like this is Riverside level usability, which is great. So I'm going to hit next, hit connect. And there we go. So I'm signing to my application. And one quick note about signing in: when you're signing into an application, I'm creating what's called a function call access key for this particular application. It says function call access key. On NEAR, there are 2 types of access keys. We have full access keys and function call access keys. Full access keys give an application full reign over your account. It can send all your NEAR tokens. It can deploy contracts onto an account. It can make more keys, which is kind of cool. A function call access key has restricted permissions to a particular account, meaning it can't do that, and it can't like do these things without your explicit permission to do so. It also has a limited budget for gas transactions. Like if a function call access key were to be called, like calling a particular method, it only go up to about like 0.25 NEAR worth of transaction fees before you have to create a new one. So it's a whole key meant to protect your users. It's really, really cool. Cool. So again, let's see, they already signed in. Or did something go wrong? Oops, yeah, sign in. I think it might have like changed this off screen or something. Let's see. Connect. Oh, I think it might have like, I think I actually modified this during office hours. So yeah, I think it might have broken this actual application. My bad there. But yeah. But let's just move on to like our next example, which is like I think a much cooler, much more like robust example too. So if I were to go to, let's see. So I have this really cool example called our coin flip example. I'm gonna go over here. So now we know the structure of like a particular project on Near. We have our front end, we have our contract, we have integration tests. So we've seen this before, so it's pretty cool. So if we go into our smart contract in contract TypeScript or contract.ts, and again, TS is just TypeScript. You can write this in just JavaScript if you want, but I would recommend using TypeScript for your smart contracts. It's just a little more deliberate for writing smart contracts. You can see like here's a little bit more of like a complex like smart contract, right? We have like this function called flip coin. We have this other function called points of. Like what's going on here? It's crazy. And you also have this like new imported like tool from the NEAR SDK.js. So this additional thing is called collection. So on Near, we have a variety of collections ranging from vectors to lookup maps to unordered maps to lookup sets to unordered sets. It's just they're just simply data structures that allow you to organize your information much easier onto the Near blockchain. So unordered map, for example, is simply something that has a key value pair, right? So you give it a key in this particular game. We're flipping a coin, guessing heads or tails. The key in this case is the account name, and the value is the points associated with that account. So if you guess correctly, your points go up. If you guess incorrectly, your points go down by 1. That's it. So you can see here we're essentially instantiating this like collection by saying points of type unordered map equals its new instance of this unordered map with this prefix called points. The only point of this prefix is just to differentiate this data structure from other data structures that you may use. So like if I were to avoid data collisions on the blockchain. So if I were to copy this and make a new unordered map, I would have to give it a new prefix, or else it would throw an error and like give me a screen about like a potential data collision. So again, like the game is just a coin flip guessing game. So we have one type called side. This is a custom type that gives you either heads or tails. We have this function called simulate coin flip, which essentially returns a side or a string of heads or tails. We have that tool I mentioned earlier called random seed, and this random seed simply returns a random string constructed from our blockchain. And then like you can get the character code of that random string and do character code modulo 2 to either like guess heads or tails. So it'll give you like a 1 or 0, meaning true or false. So if it's true, it's heads. If it's false, it's tails. And that's really it. So then it just returns either heads or tails. So that's the simulation of that coin flip. Then we have our actual like call function, which is flip coin, which takes a argument called player guess. And that player guess is of type side, meaning their guess has to be either heads or tails. And it'll also return a value of type side. So essentially the player, which is like predecessor account ID, that's the name of the player, gets called here and saved to the values. That's the name of the player, just gets saved here. You can get the outcome of this simulated coin flip. And then here you can collect the current player points. So this.points.get will simply return the point value from that unordered map as a number. And like if they guess correctly, then they get 1 point. And like if they guess incorrectly, they get 0, they lose a point, or if they are at 0, they won't go below 0 using this conditional statement here. Then after that, they take the updated point value and set it to, and set the new value in that unordered map. So you have the player points or player name as a key and the new updated point value as the value. And it'll simply just return the outcome to the console. Then you have a view method here, which is points of. So points of this particular player. It just simply retrieves the points that the current points that the player has. Or if that player does not exist in the unordered map, it will simply return 0. That's potentially an entire smart contract. So let's play a game. Let's play coin flip. So we'll do yarn deploy. There we go. Let's see. So it's building the smart contract. It's deploying it onto our dev account, which we should get pretty soon. Again, conference Wi-Fi. It's wonderful. Cool. So I could run yarn start. Cool. So here's our NEAR token. One side we have the NEAR logo. The other side we have the founder of NEAR, which is, or co-founder of NEAR, which is Ilya. I was so happy when my coworker made this. I think it's the coolest thing. So I'm going to sign in, choose blockhead 27.testnet, hit connect. And then now we can play our game. So you can see I've played our game for this particular account before. But let's have some audience participation. So if it's heads, raise your hand. If you think it's heads, I want you to raise your hand. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so many to count. Like, because we have most people here thinking it's heads. Okay, if it's tails, then you guys win a prize, which is, I guess my respect. So good job. That's so I'm gonna hit heads. Oh my god, I think the tails won. Good job, guys. Okay, let's try again. Let's see if the people who lost can like make up for their loss, right? So like who now thinks it's tails? Ooh, okay, we have like a few tails. Let's see. Okay. Oh, the tails won. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think the heads are losing. One more time. Let's go for one more. Who thinks it's tails again? I have 1, 2. Okay, 1, 2 people. Okay, so 2 people loyal to tails. We're gonna choose tails one more time. Ooh, okay. Well, okay, I think we know who the winners are. I'll let you guys like deal with your shame yourself. But thank you guys so much for playing this game and for checking out this workshop. We have a bounty here for those of you who are building NEAR. I think total prize is like 10K split into 3 different sections. For first, it's 5K. Second place is 3K, and third place is 2K. For anyone building on the NEAR SDK JS, so you're building an application on the NEAR SDK JS, you're using NEAR SDK JS, then you're eligible to apply for the bounty. If you have any questions, I'll be here, after this workshop. And also, we also have people at the NEAR booth. Go over there, pick up some swag, let them know you came to the workshop. And yeah, thank you guys so much. If I can answer your questions, I'll be here. Oh, Brian. Cool. See one question there. So is NEAR like developing like contract templates essentially? Yeah. So we have a few contract templates like in the form of like examples on our GitHub repo for NEAR-examples. We also have a NFT 0 to hero tutorial. So if you want an NFT smart contract template, you can simply go to NEAR.org, look up the 0 to hero tutorial, and it'll lead you to the GitHub repo for said smart contract. I think NEAR.dev is actually where you can go for our like actual like example code. So go to NEAR.dev to see like our different examples too. I can also, if you have questions for a particular template, you can find me. I can help you with your search. Yes. For Python? We actually, yeah, I think like a few of our community members are making Python. We don't have one internally in Pagoda that we're making just yet. But like it's definitely like something that like has been in rather high demand. So I've heard a variety of community like like initiatives to try and make the Python repo, but we don't have one currently. Any other questions? Yes. So if you're deploying a NEAR contract, can you still deploy an Ethereum contract? So if you're deploying a NEAR contract, each contract account can only accept like 1 WASM file at a time. If you want to deploy like a Solidity smart contract, that's a little bit of a different process, and you have to go to Aurora. So like if you go to like, I'm just gonna search like Aurora, I always forget what it is, like Aurora NEAR, there is aurora.dev. Essentially, this is the tool you could use to like deploy a Solidity smart contract. Essentially, like I don't have much experience with Solidity myself, but like from what I understand, it's as easy as like changing the endpoint to like for your like Solidity smart contract deployment to like an endpoint you could find in like their developer documentation here. So yeah, check out Aurora. It's really, really cool. They also have some awesome swag. I wish they were here. Any other questions? Cool. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate your time. You guys are amazing.